Hey everybody, George here with FloorGuard Products. This video is meant to answer a lot of the questions that we get regarding base coats. A lot of people will call me or some of my colleagues and ask us what's the difference between E-green polyurea and Hyperbond epoxy, or just any differences between polyurea and epoxy base coats. Mainly, I want to start out by saying that you're going to see a lot of advertising from a lot of companies across the country that will say polyurea 10 times stronger than epoxy, or polyurea better than epoxy, and one is better than the other. Is that true? Not true. I want to dispel that myth. That is a myth. Depending on what you are trying to achieve, depending on your install techniques and what the parameters are with what constraints you have after you sold the job, that's going to depend on which product you use. But is one better than the other overall? No, they're both tested. They're both tried and true in their own sectors. They need to be separated based on their properties. They have applications where one might work better than the other, but they both have their spotlights. Let's jump quickly into cure times between the two products. Now, the quickness the product is going to cure, the cure time is going to be the biggest factor in why most people choose a polyurea over an epoxy. There are a lot of companies that knock out one-day systems. They prep and base coat in the morning, they break for lunch, or they wait an hour or two, they come back, and they knock out their top coat. That's how they sell their systems. That's how their customers expect the floors to be done. So they're gonna go with a polyurea because you're gonna get that same day cure. It's cured in a few hours, ready to go. You can get in, finish the floor, get paid, and get out. Another benefit to a fast curing product is if you book a job that's far away, if it's an hour or 2 hour drive, and that travel to this far destination is going to be difficult in 2 days. If you have booked other jobs, a polyurea is going to be better for you. You can get in, like I said, that same day, coat it, break for lunch, top coat, and leave. Not have to travel that far distance 2 days in a row. That's a huge benefit to polyurea. Now, an epoxy, on the other hand, unless it's accelerated, like we mentioned, will be a 2-day system. You're not going to expect it to cure in 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Unless you've added an accelerator to it, or unless it's the winter time, it takes a little bit longer. And I've seen some epoxies take a little longer than 24 hours. Some people wait about a day or two in the really harsh cold weather before they put a top coat. But the epoxy, on the other hand, is tried and true. We've been using epoxy for decades. It's a really, really good product. The tolerances for an epoxy are a little bit wider than a polyurea. A polyurea is going to require a completely dry surface to put a base coat on. It is also going to require that your temperature is within the tolerances. So I personally put down an epoxy base coat in floors at sub-zero temperatures and even in freezers that were still operating, and 100+ degree weather without any issues. Just a quick recap. So epoxies, less elongation. They tend to be more brittle than polyureas. Polyureas are going to have superior elongation. Ours will have up to 300% elongation. Another big difference is that it's cure times. A polyurea is going to be cured in an hour, 2 hours max. You can top coat very quickly. An epoxy usually is a 2-day system, and that's next day. So for instance, if you're looking for a product that's going to give you elasticity, it's going to give you longevity when it comes to impact resistance and shock resistance against heavy objects falling or heavy forklifts rolling, you need a floor that's going to be a little more flexible, a little bit more durable. If you're looking for a faster cure time, maybe you do a 1-day system, polyurea is going to be your bet. Now, if you're looking for an epoxy is tested over time. Epoxy has been used for decades, half a century, and epoxy is not going anywhere anytime soon. You can build it up and use it as crack repair. You can put it thick, you can roll it thin. And the tolerances are way broader when it comes to using an epoxy. You can install this in all temps, and if you have more of a tricky install where you need more time, epoxy is going to be better for you. More time to cut around edges. Let's say you have a lot of inclusions in the floor and you've got a lot of poles and rooms you go around, a lot of edge cutting. That's going to be your system in epoxy. If you have a wide open space and you're looking for a time saver, definitely going to go with a polyurea.